Hi, I'm Elia Einhorn. Welcome to the Talkhouse Music Podcast. Here at the Talkhouse, we pair notable musicians for intelligent, unmoderated conversation and release a new talk each week. Regular listeners will have caught episodes like Radiohead's Philip Selway in conversation with the British rapper Ghost Poet, or our recent doubleheader where Brian Wilson spoke to Carly Rae Jepsen and Thundercat caught up with Kamasi Washington at Pitchfork Music Festival. Check out these and all of our past episodes, and subscribe to get new ones on Stitcher or iTunes. Now, I need to quickly acknowledge something. I am hugely excited about today's episode. Like, honestly, tied for the most excited I've ever been for one. And that's saying a lot. The second I heard that Andy Rourke and Dolores O'Riordan had formed a new project together, I knew we needed to have them on the podcast. Dolores O'Riordan from the Cranberries, who wrote and sang Linger, Dreams, Zombie, and so many more. Andy Rourke from the Smiths, absolute legends and my all-time favorite band. The bassist on William It Was Really Nothing, How Soon Is Now, Still Ill, and There's a Light That Never Goes Out. Just a few weeks later, I received an invitation to a secret rehearsal space just outside of New York City and found myself listening to these two musical giants rehearse with their new band, D.A.R.K, which also features the producer and songwriter Elia Einhorn. I stood there thinking, holy shit, this sounds amazing. After the rehearsal ended, Andy and Dolores sat down for a great chat, which you'll hear shortly. But first, a little background on the Cranberries and the Smiths. And then, in just a minute, we're going to give you the world premiere of a new D.A.R.K song. The Smiths were formed in Manchester, England by singer Morrissey and guitarist Johnny Marr in 1982. They soon recruited Mike Joyce on drums and Johnny's old friend and ex-bandmate Andy Rourke on bass. The band's career, though brief, would fundamentally change underground rock. And their influence still underpins most of what has been variously called alternative, indie, and DIY music. Their persistent outsider status, high literary references, sexual fluidity, and unique musicianship upended the rock world. When the Smiths split in 1987, Morrissey went solo, and Andy Rourke co-wrote and played on a number of his early songs. Andy also worked with Sinead O'Connor, appearing on her #1 record, I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got, and went on to play with The Pretenders, Ian Brown of the Stone Roses, Peter Hook of Joy Division and New Order, Badly Drawn Boy, and more. Toward the end of the aughts, Andy relocated from Manchester to New York City. He began hosting a show on East Village Radio and befriended Elia Einhorn, who also had a show on the station. The two bonded over a mutual love of Bowie's LP Low, and went on to form an electronic band called Jet Lag, built around Elia's songs. They changed their name to D.A.R.K, and knew they had to bring someone else to the project to perfectly bring the sound together. That's where Dolores came in. You'll hear about that in the talk. A couple of years after the Smiths broke up, across the Irish Sea in Limerick, the Cranberries formed in 1989. They were massive Smiths fans. Dolores had a poster of the band on her bedroom wall as a teenager, and ended up hiring not only the Smiths label owner as their manager, but also their engineer and producer Stephen Street to take the reins for the Cranberries' 1993 debut LP, Everybody Else Is Doing It, So Why Can't We? With Linger and Dreams released as album singles, the band were off, and the rest, concerts all over the world and 40 million records sold, is pop history. The Cranberries went on hiatus in 2004, and Dolores released a pair of solo albums. They reformed at the end of the decade and have been touring intermittently since. When Andy and Dolores sat down for this talk a few months ago, they were meant to be leaving soon for a brief run of dates with D.A.R.K. The album release and tour were subsequently pushed back, but the band's debut LP, Science Agrees, comes out this Friday, September 9th. Here then is the world debut of D.A.R.K's song High Fashion, followed by Andy Rourke and Dolores O'Riordan in conversation for the Talkhouse Music Podcast. Enjoy.
You could Flashing like sirens call out to me. Flashing like sirens call.
So can I open the discussion? How we met was my manager was meeting your manager for lunch or something.
Yeah, Melissa, my manager, and your Danny at the time, yeah.
Goldberg, they were meeting up for lunch, and Danny mentioned it to Melissa, I think.
You were looking for something different.
Project.
Yeah, and we were looking to kind of enhance ours. And I think I just signed a deal with BMG, and so they would. I think Melissa was trying to get me kind of productive.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's
get
nice.
Off the sofa.
Music. Back to the music, because you do a lot of DJing, don't you, Sam?
I do, yeah. I mean, a lot less than I used to. I've got some coming up in a couple of weeks in LA, which you're familiar with. You like LA, don't you?
I do like LA. Got a little pad there.
It's too hot for me.
But it's lovely in the winter because it's consistently sunny.
Mm.
It gets cold here in the winter in New York, and then it rains in Ireland all the time.
Yeah, it's like Manchester.
Yeah. That's why Ireland.
You need your wellies.
They like the golfers, like it, the happy golfers. They like Ireland.
Yeah.
Nice grass.
Very green.
Yeah. Andy, I have a question for you.
Oh, God.
Here we go. How old were you when you started playing the bass guitar?
Well, I started playing the guitar when I was about 7 or 8. The bass, I would say I was 12.
And so tell me, why did you play the guitar? Because it's big and clunky and awkward to carry around. Why not the flute or something handy that you put in your school bag?
I'd been through all kinds of musical instruments by the time I got to that
bass.
point. Yeah, every Christmas it was like a saxophone, a trumpet, a keyboard.
And you're one of 4 boys. Did your brothers play as well?
The second oldest one, so the one above me, he kind of picked up the guitar after me, and then the bass after me. I was supposed to be copying him. He was copying me.
Well, see, I see. You were the ringleader.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what age were you when you joined the Smiths then?
Well, that's 17, I think.
Oh, you were very young, cheekist.
Yeah.
Were you still in school?
Over in a flash. No, I quit school early.
Did you?
I left school when I was 15.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, I wasn't spending much time in there, and they wouldn't put me in for my exams because they said I'd be a waste of money because I wasn't familiar with the curriculum. So I just said, okay then.
Oh yeah, so you got out
Bye.
nice and handy.
Yeah.
Was it a boys' Catholic school?
Yeah.
In Manchester?
Yeah, I used to get, whipped on a daily basis, stuff like that.
To get the ruler across the fingers?
Oh, worse than that. It's like a 3-pronged leather thing on the arse.
Yeah. So with this project then, when did you start working on it with Ole?
Ooh, I would have to say it was 5 years ago, something like that. 7 years. Yeah.
You're getting the tip there from the side. Well, the time flies.
We kind of hit a plateau. We weren't really sure what to do with it. And we were looking for some extra sparkle, some extra magic. And thankfully you came along.
That's right, yeah.
And I did that.
Yes, and hopefully we'll make some nice history with this project. Like, I'm really enjoying it because it's like nothing I've ever done before. It's very experimental.
Yeah,
and like a song like The Moon is beautiful. I remember actually being in a boat up north in Ontario and just looking up the moon and how the moon affects you and how, I remember I was quite lonely because I was isolated at the time and I wrote my parts. But I just loved it because it's so ethereal.
Yeah, it really
and you
is.
played that piano.
I did, yeah.
It's lovely.
I was a bit kind of David Bowie inspired from like Ziggy Stardust or something.
That's so nice, yeah. And I think as well the structure is so unpredictable. I love the structures in these songs because they're not like verse, chorus, bridge. They're all unpredictable.
It's not like anything I've really worked on before, which is why it's of interest to me, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
and the songs are good fun to play as well.
Yeah, I like Watch Out I'm Bleeding as well. That one jumped out at me at the start, you know.
Yeah.
So
It's a
then,
catchy tune.
yeah, and of course I was all excited to work with you because I was such a big Smiths fan, and all the Cranberries were Smiths fans. Noel used to love Johnny Marr, and like.
Oh, no one used to like me.
Well, sure,
did.
I'm mad about you. Go on, sure.
You used to have a poster, didn't you?
I did. I had a poster on the wall
Yeah.
of your band, like when I was a teenager, and Morrissey. But you were the eye candy, though. You could have been in a boy band.
I know, that's what I always said.
Yeah, with your blonde, spiky hair.
Nobody would ever listen. Oh.
I have to get the scissors to you yet, though,
Yeah?
and the highlights and get it spiked again.
It's
I
cost
did
me a
actually.
fortune.
New Year's Eve. Do you remember not last New Year's Eve, the previous one? I did your hair in
did,
that
yeah.
restaurant. There was a bit of wine involved, of course. But
Nice buffet.
yeah. Have you any questions for me? What's your favourite colour?
What you doing later? No, are you looking forward to doing the Cranberries stuff, like the reunion?
Yeah,
stuff?
that'll be fun. I have to get kind of fit for it. But like the Cranberries is easier because like you got the crowd participation. They always sing a lot, and that makes it a lot easier. With this, it's like nobody has the music, so like it'll all be down to the performance. But I'm just glad that I'm not like at the centre of the stage, Ole is, so I can just be like a backing singer. It's kind of like a pipe dream, you know,
Is
not
that
to be the
right?
lead singer, because the lead singer is a lot of pressure, you know, and you're like the centre of the stage and the focus and all. But it's nice to be on the sidelines a little bit now, you know, kind of hiding in the shadows. But it's like chalk and cheese compared to the Cranberries.
Yeah. And you're doing all the festivals and stuff.
Yeah, it's all festivals, and there's one thing in Poland then, it's a big one. So it should be a laugh, it'll be big stages.
Yeah.
But it'll be weird going from like 300 seaters to the 20,000 seater in Poland. It'll be like, oh God.
Yeah,
I just
it
want to
can
have arses and seats anyway. You know, bottoms and chairs is what we want.
Yeah. If there are any chairs at these venues. But
Oh, yeah.
Probably not.
It's kind of handy when there's no chairs actually, because people stand up. It's
Yeah.
rough when they sit down. I remember doing gigs in Las Vegas, and it was really hard. Everybody just sat down, and they were there. I think it was free. Like, you know, if you won the gambling game, you got a free ticket to the gig. So nobody was interested in us, you know. It was really hard, but that's life, you know. When you choose to be in a band, you get your good days and your bad days. Like,
I remember I did, like with the Smiths, we did a few very, very early festivals, and the audience are there and they don't have a clue who you are. You know, I think we had one single out at the time, and then we were doing a festival in Finland and nobody had a clue who we were. You know, we were virtually throwing stuff at us.
yeah, I remember opening up for the Stones, and somebody threw an apple at me, got me like on the head, and there was a bite taken out of it
If it
to
was
make
a
it worse.
cranberry, it would have been okay.
But it was. Yeah, if it was a cranberry, it
apple.
would have been all right, but it was an apple, yeah. And
Morrissey once got hit by an 8-pack of sausages with
Did he?
Meaty's murder written on them.
should have brought them home and fried them.
No, he walked off the stage. He wasn't impressed.
Did he? Did he come back on?
I don't think he did, no. He had a hissy fit.
I wonder what somebody was doing with a packet of sausages in their bag.
I don't think it was I think it was a festival, and I don't think they were Smiths fans or Morrissey fans. They just did it as a prank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Those festivals can be kind of unpredictable.
Yeah, exactly. You get the lovers and the haters,
Yeah.
you know, which we'll probably get with this record, actually.
So in all, I think that there's 10 tracks on the record. So do you have a favourite?
You've stolen my favourite too already, but
The Moon.
yeah.
It's gorgeous.
I like Loosen the Noose.
Yeah,
So-
it's kind of dark.
I like them all. They feel like my babies.
Underwater, it's very ethereal as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's sounding great live. We've put a great band together, I think, in a short space of time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's all sounding great, isn't
It's
it?
coming together now, yeah. It's kind of getting there, definitely. And we still have like a week of rehearsals.
I even
in
stood up
Ireland.
today.
You even stood up today, I know. So I was thinking, God,
But
it's like Lazarus coming out the tomb and he stood up.
I'm glad we're sitting down doing this. I was getting tired. Standing up for
But
an
it's
hour.
nice when you get to the point where you don't need your referral sheets and you don't need notes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know.
got lots of people coming on, especially the Italy gigs.
You have? Oh, yeah, because your wife's Italian.
Yeah.
She's got
I've got
the
a lot of
Italianos
friends
coming.
in Brescia, which is, I think it's about a 40-minute drive.
From Milan, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Milan, you could do
Half
some
the
credit
town,
card damage there, couldn't you? The shopping is really
God,
good.
yeah.
Might do a spot of shopping.
Yeah.
And,
If we get time.
Yes.
And London should be nice. Not been there for a while.
Oh, yeah, London is always fun, isn't it?
I think my dad even threatened to come to that one.
Oh, yeah, the mammies and daddies are coming out.
Yeah. Should be fun.
I know Ole's mum's flying into one, and my mum wants to come to one. She might come to Poland for the berries one. But yeah, when your parents come out, it's always like, I don't want to make any mistakes now.
Sure.
Mammy's looking.
I'm sure there'll be some family at the Limerick one.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. I've got about 70 nieces and nephews and grandnieces and grandnephews.
The clan.
The clan. Keep expanding, like typically Irish.
Yeah, so I think the first 2 gigs are going to be a bit crazy.
Yes, and then all the Irish are claiming you because everybody's like, Andy O'Rourke.
Oh, yes, all
Like,
that,
that's
yeah.
like, oh, but
That I
everyone
didn't
says
know.
O'Rourke.
That was a couple of centuries ago, there was an O there. But I got dropped.
They took it away.
They did. I got DO'd. I have to say, and I'm not, blowing smoke, but I was intrigued by your voice and the lyrics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Andy. Mwah.
Yeah, give me that $5 later. But yeah, and I took an interest in it also. I was curious to see what Stephen Street was up to.
Yeah. Stephen worked with the Smiths, and when we started out, we made our first album, and it kind of went down the toilet. There's a long story there, long, and it might make you yawn if I go into it. But we ended up with Stephen anyway. Make a long story short. I mean, a long story short. And Stephen was really nice, and he worked really well with the Cranberries. But one of the reasons was because he'd worked with the Smiths, and we were all Smiths fans. And I have a really good friendship with him. I see him every few years, and we just go for dinner or something like that. He's a nice guy. He's very mellow. He's easy enough to get along with, isn't he?
He is, and I think that's the reason that we started to work with him initially. I can't remember. I think it was, I don't know which Smith single. William, It Was Really Nothing, I think, or one of those. And we had to cancel a studio session somewhere, and so we booked into Island Records studio. And at that time, Stephen, I think he was only about 19 or 20, something like that. And he'd just been appointed the in-house engineer. And so we said that we wanted to produce the record ourselves, but we needed the in-house engineer. And yeah, so that's how we met him. And he was very affable, very helpful, very professional. And so when it came to doing the next LP, he was our first choice. And we worked with him on 2 or 3 records. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
A very talented one.
When the chemistry is right.
Yeah.
It's important to try and find somebody that you've got a chemistry with, isn't it?
Yeah. He knows when to have an opinion and when to keep his mouth shut, which is important.
Yeah.
When you're in a confined space.
Yes. And I think, his production really worked with us at the time. We were like a baby band.
Yeah, he works really hard at stuff. It's good.
glad you liked the Cranberries, because
I did, yeah.
I got this letter from this fella last week, and he said, I never liked the Cranberries, but I like you. And he said, if you're looking for a boyfriend, I'll take you out. And he mentioned that he was on the dole, if I didn't mind. Seriously, I got. But you know the way some people, you could work with them in life, but they might not have liked the Cranberries. And I don't really mind. I'm not precious about it. People say every day, I don't like the Cranberries. And I just go, okay, that's fine. You know, not everybody likes everything. And I think once you kind of get to that point in your life where you realise that not everybody's going to like what you do, you're kind of over it then.
Exactly.
You know,
then you can just relax.
Yeah, you're like... And so that's the good thing about this project is like, I don't really mind whether people like it or not. I'm doing this because it's fun for me. I'm enjoying it, and it's an experiment. And so far, so good. It's totally new, like.
Yeah, it's fresh.
The excitement of it all, like, you know, the way you'd be wondering, like, will it catch on or go down the toilet or whatever, you know. But either way, it's a bit unpredictable. Like, we don't really have any great expectations, you know. We're just really taking one day at a time. And rehearsals are fun. We're just enjoying the process step by step, day by day. And we don't have any great expectations. And that way you can't really be left down, you know.
Just looking forward to getting it out there. And hopefully people will like it. But like we said, if they don't, then it's no big loss. Yeah.
I think that, like, the fans, Cranberries fans or Smiths fans, there's going to be, like, I've already seen some of what they say on the internet. I mean, there's going to be a variety of reactions. And it's not like the Cranberries and it's not like the Smiths. It's very different. But the whole point is to do something different. I think a lot of people are expecting it to sound like the Smiths and the Cranberries. Yeah, and it doesn't.
Oh, so it's fine with me.
Yeah, I think it's more important to challenge yourself and try different things, you know, for yourself. And we definitely did that here, you know. It's definitely an experimental project. I was up north in Ontario when this project began, and Ole and Andy would send me files of music that they were collaborating on, and I didn't really have any instructions or anything like that. I went with my gut feeling, and where there was like space, I would just put parts into those spaces, you know, just lyrics and melodies. And then with other tracks like Watch Out, I'm Bleeding, I just actually sang what Ole was singing. So in some I was writing lyrics, and in others I was just singing along with Ole's lyrics. And I would just send them back to the two boys then down in New York, and they'd just say, you know, that was great, do more, or, you know, they just give me direction that way.
And then we come over to Canada to kind of finalise the vocals.
Sorry, yeah.
We did it all over the place, didn't we? We did some in LA, we did some Electric Lady in New York, and where else? It was one other location, I think.
But like the creating the project was really fun and exciting and unpredictable, because we were in different places and we were just sending material over and back, you know. And now working it out live is good fun, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of it's evolved since those emails. Now we're at this point, and then we're going to take it on tour. So, and then the record's going to come out. So yes, exciting times. Exciting times ahead
of us. Yeah. And soon we'll be living out of suitcases again.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but you know, I'm a professional. I shall rise above it.
Part of it all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't forget your in-ears and your bass. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The microphone and the in-ears. Oh, yeah.
But you're right there, yeah. You can't set out to please your fans, or, you know, in both camps, yeah, you have to do it for yourself. And
just follow your gut instinct, really.
Yeah. And some people don't like it, some people hate it. You can't please everybody.
This is it. 'Tis now you said it. You nailed the feckin' nail down the head by. Well, Mr. O'Rourke, thank you very much. It was lovely talking to you. When you're a gent, you're a true gent.
And hopefully see you soon.
Yes, yeah. Hit the road. Be ready for us. We're coming.
Listen. Did you hear that sound? Somebody's walking close behind me. I hear their footsteps on the ground.
Hi, I'm Elia Einhorn, and you've been listening to Andy Rourke and Dolores O'Riordan on the Talkhouse Music Podcast. Subscribe to Talkhouse Music and Talkhouse Film podcasts on Stitcher or iTunes. The Talkhouse will be continuing our partnership with Pitchfork Radio and premiering a handful of episodes at Pitchfork Radio Austin's pop-up from September 12th to the 16th. So tune in to hear talks between Andrew WK and Dan Deacon, Proto-Martyr and Parquet Courts, DJ Shadow and Clams Casino, Neon Indian and Chairlift, and Rizza and Paul Banks. This episode was engineered and co-produced by Mark Yoshizumi. Till next time.